What's going on, guys? CGG Matt back. I read the title today. I am tier listing MLB breakout players, one from every team to be more specific. That's right, I took one player from every MLB team who I believe is having a breakout season, and I put them on a tier list. And today we're going to be tier listing them. As you can see, the tiers, we have Smoking Hot. Will take a dip, but still a breakout. Like, this player's playing above their means right now. They'll step down a little bit, but they'll still be a great player down the line. Which is like, it might be, it might not be. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence still. Then we got him not buying the stocks. This means he's hitting well right now. Me personally, I don't think I'm getting down with it. And then there's Smoke and Mirrors. So there's Smoking Hot and Smoke and Mirrors. Two ends of the spectrum. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you're new. Simple stuff. We're going to get into it right now with Chris Bassitt. Oh, I have them organized by division. So we're going to go divisionally, I guess. It's Chris Bassitt, who, if I'm being honest, I think he's having a legit good season. His arm angle is lower than it has been in seasons prior, which has helped him get his K rate up. He's striking out more people than I'd expect Chris Bassitt to, that's for damn sure. He's having a really good season for Toronto. He's like one of one good pitcher they have right now in the starting rotation. Jeff Hoffman's like their second best player right now. But Chris Bassitt's been fantastic. I still expect a dip because I don't know if Chris Bassitt's, what's he at, like a 140 ERA plus? I don't know if he's that good. But I expect Chris Bassitt to still have a good year. Respect Trent Grisham. He's smoking hot, man. Nothing else I can say. Even the peripherals show like, yo, this guy's on track to have a really good season. And I've always been a big Trent Grisham guy myself. Even when the ball went past him in the wild card game, was that against the Brewers, I believe? That was a fun time. But Trent Grisham has been pulling the ball in the air, hitting the ball hard. And let's be honest, it makes your job a lot easier as a hitter when you're batting in front of Aaron Judge. Let's just call a spade a spade. It makes your job a lot easier knowing you're going to see pitches to hit when the guy behind you is batting 400 with a 500 on base and an OPS at like 1300. So I believe Grisham can sustain these numbers, especially when he's playing at Yankee Stadium and he's pulling the ball more than ever. You pull the ball in the air at Yankee Stadium, get a lot of home runs as a lefty. You know what? I think I'm actually going to take him a step down. I think there is a little bit of regression coming for the Grish. I think Trent Grisham or Ben Rice was really the toss-up here, but Ben Rice, I think, flashed more last season. Ben Rice, down the stretch when he was playing, when he was kidding PT last year, he looked pretty competent. Trent Grisham, as a whole, as an MLB player, has never been as good as he has been to start this season. Here's a real breakout candidate, Jonathan Aranda. Aranda hits the ball very hard. He doesn't strike out overly a lot. He takes his walks when he can. He's barreling the ball up a ton. And on top of that, playing in a minor league ballpark ain't never hurt nobody, really. Jonathan Aranda is legit good. And this is just what the Rays do. This is just what we have to accept. I'm an AL East watcher myself a lot of the time, and the Rays just do this. They'll find a guy. They will have nobody on the roster, but they'll find a guy. And Jonathan Aranda has been that guy this season. I think he's going to have a great year when it ends. Wilyer Abreu is another one that I got in Smoking Hot. This guy is killing baseballs, bro. I'm telling you, if you want a good time, go look at Wilyer Abreu's Baseball Savant page. Clifford, big and red. All over. He's barreling the hell out of the ball. He rips the ball, man. He's just been unbelievable to start the year. And the fact that, last year he had an incredible rookie season, but he still finished like third or fourth in Rookie of the Year. Like, he's a really good ball player. And he kind of got lost in the shuffle, I guess, when everything was like awards were given out. He was forgotten in the Rookie of the Year conversation. I'm not saying he should have won it. I will disagree with that notion. But Wilyer Abreu is a legit great player at what he does. He kills baseballs. And he plays a good outfield, too. Good corner outfielder, man. He can ball, man. I like me some Wilyer Abreu. Cedric Mullins. All right, here's the thing. Mullins technically already did break out. Let's be honest. He was an all-star a few seasons ago. Last season wasn't that great. The season before that, I think, was really bad as well. Cedric Mullins has turned the ship around, and I think that's what makes it a breakout. The fact that he was just outright bad for portions of last season. There were times where we thought he might be like in the background, being a base running guy specifically or something like that. But the back half of last year, Cedric Mullins, I noticed he started to turn it around. The back half of last season, he started to feel like he was getting a little bit better. And while I don't I don't expect him to be the best hitter in this lineup all season like he has been so far. I do expect Cedric Mullins to be like a big feature piece for this Orioles team. He can hit and he can run, plays a good center field. I'm a fan of Cedric Mullins. He sounds like a football player, soccer player. I'm an American. It's soccer. Yeah, Cedric Mullins can legit ball. One of my favorite players when he was an all-star with Baltimore. It's good to see him kind of right that ship and get his career back on track to where it was. He's a legit good player. This is Kyle Manzardo. I'm kind of on Manzardo. I know he's hitting the ball really hard right now. He strikes out a ton, though. Manzardo's a fun bat. Overall, I just don't think he doesn't hit the ball overly hard. He plays well. That's what I'm going to say. He's a guy that plays well, but you look at the underlyings and it's like, well, there's some things he could fix. And I think this is it's his first extended burn at the major league level. Last year he got some burn, but not the opportunity he's going to get this season. But Manzardo has made the most of it this year, don't get me wrong. I'm just not sure where he's going to end up numbers-wise, especially since that Guardians lineup. It definitely, I don't think it helps him that Guardians lineup is, for lack of a better term, void of talent. Manzo has been clobbering the ball, but overall, I'm not sold on it yet. I think there's still some things he can fix. This is Zach McKinstry from the American League best Detroit Tigers at the time of recording. Zach McKinstry's had an incredible season because he can field and he's been hitting well. As a hitter, I'm not buying stock in that. His bat speed hasn't really gone up marginally. He's not hitting the ball a ton harder. He's getting it on the launch angle. Launch angle sweet spot percentage, by the way, he's in the 100th percentile. So there is some things that, like, I look at and I'm like, yeah, I'm a fan of that. But there's some things I'm just not really, I'm not really seeing in his game that I kind of want to see. He has relatively low average exit velos. He still strikes out a decent amount. He takes his walks. He gets on base. He's an on-base king. But he still strikes out a good amount. He doesn't hit the ball particularly that hard. I think it'll play at Detroit because Detroit, spacious, big, it leaves a lot of room for singles and dunking it in front of the outfielder. But overall, I'm just not really bought in. I still think McKinstry's a good player, and he still holds value. He plays great defense, and he's great on the base paths, too. But overall, as a hitter, I'm just not, seeing it with Zach McKinstry this season, and I think his numbers will kind of recede to the mean. Just like I expect, to be honest. I expect Riley Green's to go up. So if you're a Detroit Tigers fan, yeah, McKinstry might go down, but your best player should be coming around soon, in my opinion. Chris Bubich from the Kansas City Royals. I have his card in MLB The Show, if that matters to you. It doesn't. Chris Bubich I think he's just good. I know a bunch of people really liked him before the season. People that are more respected than I in this MLB YouTube corner, even though I'm not a YouTube MLB guy. Whatever. I'm not an MLB YouTuber. Like Foolish Baseball, Foolish Bailey loved him. A bunch of guys really like Chris Bubich, and I never really understood it because he doesn't necessarily throw the ball that hard. But there's some things Chris Bubich does with the baseball that makes me think the stuff that he's putting together right now is legit good. I don't think he's like this good. He had a 1.70 ERA at one point. What is he sitting at right now? Hold on. 2.25. Like, that's legit good. It's the arm angle. I've heard the arm angle is kind of wonky. What's his pitch arsenal like? I got to dig in a little bit more. He's integrated a slider. That changes things. That definitely changes things. But, like, some of this stuff can definitely stick. A higher whiff rate, higher chase rate than league average. Like, he's an above-average pitcher. That's why I have him in will take a dip, but still a breakout, because he is the third best pitcher in that Royals rotation, stacked Royals rotation, by the way. But I definitely don't think he's the best pitcher on that team. I definitely don't think he'll finish with a 2.25 ERA. Damn it, this is Matt Wallner, and he is smoking hot. No, he's not supposed to be here. He's probably going to go in like because he strikes out a ton. He only really hits righties. He's a platoon bat. The Twins don't have many breakout candidates because, let's be honest, man, they're either veterans that have already had great seasons in the past, Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa, even though he's kind of struggling. Joe Ryan's had big years before. There's not many breakout candidates when it comes to the Twins, but Matt Wallner deserves love, man. And although I'm not the highest on Matt Wallner, because like I said, strikes out a good amount, he hits for enough power to negate the strikeouts, to mitigate the strikeout damage, but I don't know, man. I'm such a Matt Wallner guy. He rips the cover off baseballs. He just needs to learn how to not be a automatic strikeout every other at-bat. This is Shane Smith from the White Sox, another team, sorry White Sox fans, that I'm just like, yo, who is going to be a breakout on this team? There's like 4 good players on the White Sox max right now, and Shane Smith has been one of them. Now, do I think it'll stick? Not buying it. He's an extension king. He has plus extension. His fastball velo isn't blowing people out, pause. He's not striking a ton of people out. He's got a decent whiff rate, but overall, I think he's a rookie, and as a rookie, you get like a couple of months where people haven't really figured out your pitch mix. They haven't figured out what you want to go to. We'll see how he adjusts, but as for right now, I think he's also in the low 2s ERA-wise, and I'm like, whoa, take a step back. I'm not quite sure about that. As we move into J.P. Crawford, damn it, he's in smoking hot too. No, J.P. Crawford, I have to put an because, all right, my timeline with J.P. Crawford is one of heartbreak and betrayal, right? 2023 rolls around. Fantastic season, and I think he got hurt as well, but he had a great year in the minimal time he played, right? 2024 comes around, I'm like, yo, JP was killing the ball in 2023. He hit a good amount of homers, I believe. Let me check that. Yeah, dude, 2023 JP Crawford, he had an 818 OPS. I mean, that's very above average. 19 homers in only, 640 plate appearances. It's not bad. You look at his underlyings, and it's like, well, he takes walks a lot. He's pretty decent. Dang, OAA does not like JP's fielding. I feel like he grades out positively as a defender, though. I don't know. But this is 2025 JP Crawford. This is a decent little player right here. Average exit velos are not high at all. Barrel rate is below average, and hard hit rate's not there. But what JP Crawford doesn't have in exit velos and hard hit rate, JP Crawford has in dog and aura points. All right, you got to factor that in here. I'm not going to lie. I'm not factoring that in. I can't do it. I had J.P. Crawford as one of my 7 best shortstops in baseball like 2 years ago. And ever since then, he's disappointed me, and he's broken my heart to the point where I can't do it again, JP. I'm sorry. I believed in you before, but it's like drug addiction. You believe in the person, and when they're sober, it's like, yeah, man. And then they break their sobriety, and you're like, I just compared J.P. Crawford struggling to addiction. We've reached new highs on this channel. Subscribe if you're new for moments like that. Jeremy Pena. I'll explain. Jeremy Pena has some accolades to his name. What, a World Series MVP or whatever already. And he's only like 25 or something like that. He's in the mid-20s, I'll say, just to be safe. But he doesn't hit the ball particularly that hard. He's a great fielder. And my comparison for Mr. Jeremy Pena, kind of like taller Volpe, I guess. He's kind of like Anthony Volpe, where it's like, I don't expect 130 OPS plus numbers. I'm expecting like 101, I expect the water level to go back down, The water level stays consistent, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. I expect Jeremy Pena to still have a Jeremy Pena season. But, you look at this, and it's like expected batting average is there, don't get me wrong. But the exit velos aren't crazy. Let's compare it to 2024. 2024 was a bottom-out year for Jeremy Pena. But as you can tell, this year, it's been a lot better. But he's still not walking a ton. He's not overly great. He's 27. Damn, I thought he was 26. Well, my bad. But he is having a really good year. 791 OPS, you see on the left side there. 436 slug. Like, that's not bad for Jeremy Pena. Do I expect it? Not really. I don't expect it to stay that way forever. We're moving on to Tyler Soderstrom now. Big Dog is just killing the baseball. I expect them to figure him out at some point because he is still young. I think he's 22 or 23. Really young cat. Tyler Soderstrom has had an incredible start to the season. Still strikes out a good amount, but he hits for so much power, bro. He hits bombs. There's a reason he's in the home run lead or tied for it. One of the leaders in home runs, I'll just outright say. There we go. It's a blanket way to cover it. He is one of the leaders in home runs. But Tyler Soderstrom is killing the baseball, and it's made it really a weird situation for the A's, because you have Nick Kurtz. I'll slow it down when I say that. But you also have Tyler Soderstrom, and you have Brent Rooker, who's taking up that DH spot. Rooker's coming around. He's starting to get a little bit better day after day, it seems. He had a home run the other day. So it's been a really weird situation for the A's over there. First, who's playing first base? Who's playing outfield? Who's DHing? I don't know. But Tyler Soderstrom is going to have to stay in the lineup for as long as possible because he is hitting the hell out of the baseball. I mean, I know the K rate's not pretty. I know it's not. But let's look at this. Dog, 94th in launch angle, hard hit 81st, barrel rate 90th percentile, average exit velo 88th percentile. He's hitting the ball hard. And, yeah, it's part of the process. I told you, he strikes out a good amount, 56th percentile. I mean, it's above average. So there's something there. He's 23 years old. And, yeah, I mean, when you're hitting the baseball that hard and you're playing in a minor league ballpark, too, that, again, never hurts. I think there's some level for regression for Soderstrom, but I still do think that this guy is legit good. Yo, Tyler Mahle has been silently vicious to start the season. He's been, like, actually really good. I'm going to have to say, he's shown injury history as well. That doesn't really help my vote of confidence here. Overall, he's got decent stuff. He just walks a good amount of people, doesn't strike out a ton of guys. He's having really good starts right now. But overall, for Tyler Mahle, did you know Tyler Mahle has a brother that pitched in MLB? I didn't. And it was like a decade ago he pitched in MLB. Not recently at all. But overall for Tyler Mahle, he's always had like decent stuff type guy. But overall, I'm not seeing 1.19 ERA, which I think he's currently sitting at. That's disgusting levels. Shout out to Tyler Mahle for the start of the season. But I'm not expecting him to be the best pitcher in the Rangers rotation all season like he has been so far. I'm just not buying stock because there's injury history there, and his underlyings aren't necessarily I mean, they're not bad. They're not bad. I'm not sitting here saying Tyler Mahle's going to put up a 6 ERA the rest of the way. No, I expect him to be like a 3 ERA guy, you know, a good plus pitcher, not a 1.19 that he's currently at, though. Kyron Paris. The Angels don't have many breakout guys because there's a lot of veterans over there. And like guys like Zach Neto, I don't think he's played a ton of games, but Zach Neto broke out last year. Logan O'Hoppy's been very good. He was good last year as well. Jose Soriano, I was debating putting out, I don't know. Tyler Anderson was another breakout candidate, but he's been an all-star before, I think twice. So you don't get to be here if you've been a 2-time all-star, and he had a really good year last year too. So it's Kyron Paris. And I'm not buying stock. While Kyron Paris is a very fun player, and I love supporting him as a player, and the Angels fans seem to love the guy too, there is almost no plate discipline here, like none. He might be in the first percentile in K rate. Lo and behold, he's in the first percentile for K rate. There's almost no plate discipline here. Crushes the ball 94th percentile in barrel rate, which means he's getting good wood on the ball. But overall, when you have almost no plate discipline, it's like pitchers are just going to stop throwing you strikes after a while, and they're just going to let you get yourself out at that rate. Griffin Canning is up right now. He bounced around multiple places in the offseason. I believe he was an Angel, and then he was a Brave, and then I think he was somewhere else, and then he wound up with the Mets. Griffin Canning has had a wild couple of months, but currently sitting at a 2.6 ERA, an ERA plus at like $1.30 or something like that. He's been really good this season, all things considered. But he's going to be the first smoke. You know what, Kyron Paris? No, because Zach McKinstry's had like a one more year. I think I'm seeing Griffin Canning as a smoke and mirrors type guy. Whips at like 1.4 casually. Like, that's not a bad whip, but at the same time, it's a lot of base runners to be moving around. And his underlyings don't particularly say he's doing anything better than before. The scariest thing about Canning to me, though, is that he plays for the Mets. And you look at David Stearns, Dumpster Dive Dave, as I like to call him, he will dig at the bottom of that dumpster barrel and find some pitcher and turn him into a positive. His ground ball rate's up, which I think definitely helps him a lot when you have infield defense beyond belief. I know Pete Alonso is not considered the best defender, but he picks the ball very well. Lindor's an amazing defender. Vientos can't field his position to save his damn life. But a ground ball pitcher, he's getting more ground balls than ever. He still has decent velocity. I just don't see. You know what? I might have to move him up because of Mets tax, because the Mets get the best out of all their guys. I have to. David Stearns just gets the best out of legit like pitchers that are not very good. He makes them good, kind of like a Matt Blake type or a Rays type. You know what I mean? Like they find these pitchers with stuff, and I guess they help them and make them better. Jesus Luzardo is one of those guys that I think he can legit be a Cy Young candidate, in my opinion. Luzardo's tough because he has been actually like a good player before, but it's the Phillies where it's either you're a veteran player or a really young player. You know what I mean? It's really not a lot of like potentially breakout guys in Philly, unless you want to count like Max Kepler or Bryson Stott. I don't really care. Personally, I think that Jesus Luzardo could be a Cy Young contender. He's getting the whiffs. He's getting the swing and miss. He's dodging barrels really well. He has a lot of good stuff, plus stuff. He's one of those guys that just has really good movement on his pitches. He went to the Phillies. I don't know, maybe it's the park or maybe it's the competitive environment around him. You know, a team that wants to compete. Sorry, Miami, you're getting shit thrown at you, but what do you want me to say? But Jesus Luzardo is legit a very talented pitcher in this league who I think will get some votes this year for a Cy Young. Another team where it's like, who's the breakout here? Alex Verdugo. It's the Braves, and it's Spencer Schwellenbach, who I think is legit. He showed it at the end of last season, playoffs and stuff like that. Spencer Schwellenbach was terrific down the stretch for the Braves last year, and it's rolled over into this season. This is a guy with really good stuff. I'm always a big fan of pitchers who get good extension, and Spencer Schwellenbach has good extension. He's also, I believe, dropped like his cutter this year. He doesn't use his cutter as much. It's provided interesting results. He's been a plus pitcher. He's been like one of, I don't know, 2 plus pitchers for the Braves this year, but I think we could all have kind of predicted that breakout from Schwellenbach because he's just been really good. That's what I mean. Like, he's been really good in the past, and I just like guys with extension. I'm a big fan of extension. I know Luzardo's the opposite of an extension guy, but with Luzardo, you just have movement on movement, and he's just mean. I know this is a tangent about Schwellenbach, but I just like guys with good extension, and Schwellenbach fits the mold. This is Mitchell Parker, who throws so over the top, I'm surprised his shoulder doesn't hurt on a daily basis. I'm very on Mitchell Parker. I'm a very big fan of the Nationals rotation. You know, I'm a big fan of Jake Irvin. I was a big fan of Trevor Williams last year, too, in the innings he pitched. And obviously, Mackenzie Gore's got good stuff as well. But I'm not a big Mitchell Parker guy. He literally comes over the top. Like, it's crazy how over the top his release is. But I'm going to be honest, when players start to get used to that, and I just don't think there's stuff there. He's not getting a ton of swing and misses. He's another guy that I like, though, because he has good extension. I know I just said I'm an extension guy, but there's got to be some other stuff with it. And Mitchell Parker is a decent pitcher. I just don't think he's as good as his ERA plus and stats would say right now. This is Kyle Stowers. Yo, I'm a fan of Kyle Stowers, bro. He hits the ball really hard. He strikes out a ton, but who really cares when you're on the Marlins? You know, you could strike out 100 times, and honestly, whatever, bro. You're better than every other hitter there. He's been very impressive to me this season, hitting the ball really hard. Has had some clutch moments, I think, too. From what I remember he had a couple of clutch hits already this season. He's just impressed me. And again, it's a guy where I'm like, I don't know nothing about him. The Marlins are a unique team where they shuffle around their roster every single season, and you find some gems some days, and some days you don't. You found a pretty decent one here in Kyle Stowers, in my opinion. He barrels the ball, decent bat speed, like a pretty good bat speed, I believe, as well. Sure, he swings and misses, but at the end of the day, oh well. Again, you're the Marlins. You should be looking for fun. You know, and Kyle Stowers is fun to me. He hits the ball really hard. I'm a fan. This is a tough one. This next guy, Carson Kelly, is a tough one to pick. How often do you see a 31-year-old catcher have their breakout season? I really don't know how often that happens. But Carson Kelly, I have to put him up top. You look, you know what? We'll look at his Baseball Savant page together. All right? Wha-bam. What is that? I mean, what are we looking at here? Red all over the place like he's got a rash. He's pulling the ball a ton. You look at all the hits. I mean, a lot of them, it's pulling the ball. Who'd have thought you hit the ball hard when you pull the ball? I know a great big brain concept for me right there. Sure, he doesn't swing and miss a ton. He's not striking out 9% strikeout rate. Like, walking 22% of the time. I get it. Only 67 plate appearances. 7 homers, though, is crazy. He's about to have a career high in home runs in, like, the first month. This is nuts. I've never seen anything like this, really, with Carson Kelly. Let's look up last year. Word. How about 2023? Word. All right, 2025. This ridiculous. Ridiculous. The Cubs have had a great hitting season. So shout out to them. But that's a real tough call. I have to put him up there. I have to respect it. Look at the freaking underlyings, man. This is Bryce Terang, who I think I think there's gonna be a dip. I think there's gonna be a dip here. But he's a guy who upped his bat speed a little bit. It's not above average still, but it's higher than it was last season. He's barreling the ball more than last season. He looks more comfortable in the box than he did last season. I think he was a guy. Now maybe I'm tripping here, but has anyone ever seen Bryce Terang, Jonas Valanciunas, and Travis Kelce in the same room? I haven't. But I'm going to be real. He looks kind of like Travis Kelce in this picture a little bit. Maybe it's just, white guy with the beard, but either way, he's been fantastic this season, and he's been probably one of their best player, if not second best. I debated putting Sal Frelick in here. I don't believe in Sal Frelick more than I believe in Bryce Terang. Bryce Terang has had a legit good start, and I'm kind of a believer now. I wasn't a big Bryce Terang guy last year, but the speed, he's hitting the ball harder. There's a lot to like about Bryce Terang's start to the year. This right here is Nick Lodolo, who I'm on. He's had multiple years now where it's like Nick Lodolo has nasty stuff, and everyone keeps saying Nick Lodolo has nasty stuff. And then you're like, well, where is it? Because he's putting up a 4 ERA. I don't know what to believe with him. I think I'm so about him because he has upped his four-seam fastball usage. He's dropped his sinker really out. Or not out. He just uses it less often than he uses the four-seamer now. But somebody like Nick Lodolo has always had stuff. He's a guy, I keep saying it, a guy where it's like he's got nasty stuff, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest on Nick Lodolo, though. He's not really walking people, which has never been a Nick Lodolo issue, really, with walking people, I don't believe. I think the interesting thing with Nick Lodolo is that his arm angle's even lower than it was. It was at 19 degrees last season. This season it sits at 15 degrees. It's even lower, which may help him. I don't know. Well, messing with your arm angle usually helps you as a pitcher. Usually is a loose term because sometimes it really just doesn't. But Nick Lodolo, I'm kind of on because I'm not sure how this is really going to turn out when a lot of things have changed for him. Arm angle, pitch mix, a lot of changes in one offseason. I'm interested to see how it plays out. This Reds rotation looks good. If Nick Lodolo maintains, though, the Reds rotation looks really good this year. This is Brendan Donovan, who's had a very impressive start to the season. He's a ball-and-play guy. I'm going to be about it. He's a little bit older for a breakout candidate. I think he's what are we looking at here? 28? That's the prime of his career right there. And you see the underlyings, and it's like, oh, that's not bad. There's some things that I just don't like, though. Doesn't really walk a ton. Bat speed's low. I'm not the biggest bat speed guy, but having it drastically low definitely is worrisome. You look at the barrel rate, it's like around league average exit velo, league average, hard hit rate, league average. He hovers league average in a lot of things. He does some things well. He doesn't strike out. I said he's a ball-and-play guy. I'm a fan of a ball-and-play guy here and there. I was a Jacob Wilson supporter before the season. That's another ball-and-play guy. But the expected batting average is in the 100th percentile. Oh, my God. I'm not sure, bro. I'm really not sure what to say about Brendan Donovan. I mean, you look here, and a lot of things are on path with career norms. He's hitting more line drives, which really helps a lot. Don't get me wrong. But you look at stuff like ground ball rate, the same. In the air, the same. Fly ball, a little bit less, but close to the same. Not popping up as much. I mean, there's some things here to really like. He's going straight away more often. You look at all batted balls, 40% to straight away. It's really interesting with Brendan Donovan. I don't think I'm going to rank him as low as I did. I'm just really because it is very ball and play oriented. And if things start going south with the ball and play, then you can really bottom out this season. But the start, he's been hot, so I don't know. It's tough. Andrew Heaney, I am putting in smoke and mirrors. I just don't care. 33 years old is not the breakout time for a pitcher usually. His pitch mix hasn't changed a ton. I just don't believe in Andrew Heaney. And yes, before you comment, I am a biased Yankees fan who hates Andrew Heaney. So deal with it. I'm just not an Andrew Heaney guy. I don't think he's changed a ton to where it's like, oh, it's a new pitcher. It's not to me. His pitch mix hasn't changed. I don't think his arm angle's changed. I mean, we could check that right now. Has his arm angle changed? Actually, a decent amount. I don't know. I'm not a big Andrew Heaney guy. Doesn't have plus velo. Doesn't strike out a ton of guys. There's some things I really don't like about Andrew Heaney's game. Andy Pages, this shit's got to be fake. He doesn't hit the ball hard. He's not barreling the ball up a ton. He doesn't strike out a lot. Whatever. But, I mean, Jesus Christ, guys. Come on now. Expected batting average in the 30th percentile. Average exit velo in the 24th. He's got expected dog. But you look at it, 292 average, 891 OPS. 891 OPS from a guy with a squared up rate in the 4th percent. No Andy Pages around here. I'm not a believer. Here's Nick Pivetta. Nick Pivetta, I'm like, he's been really good, but I don't think I'm buying stock. This is a guy who, again, he hasn't really changed a ton in the offseason. He's just not allowing as many home runs as he has in years past. I'm just not truly a believer in Nick Pivetta. I think there's a world where he comes back to like the 4 ERA way. I know I said I'm an extension guy. Nick Pivetta is an extension guy. He's just not striking out a ton of guys. He's not getting a ton of whiffs. He's not really dodging barrels either. I'm just not as high on Nick Pivetta as he has been. He's been terrific to start the year. All these guys, dude, they've been terrific to start the year. They're on the breakout list for a reason. But this is about the end of the season, and I just don't see Nick Pivetta being a 2 ERA guy at the end of the year. I'm sorry, I just really don't. We're going to move into Jung-Hoo Lee, who is just legit. The guy's a tough at-bat, ball and play guy as well, but except he smacks doubles. He plays in a very hitter-friendly park if you're a doubles gap slapper type. Hits a lot of triples because of that. He's a tough at-bat. I watched him absolutely bear maul the Yankees. I mean, bear one-on-one with a gorilla. I'm not talking 100 men versus one gorilla. This is one man versus one gorilla. Jung-Hoo Lee is the damn gorilla. He is mauling pitchers. He's a hard at-bat. He puts the ball in play, and he hits the ball hard enough to where I can justify it. I like Jung-Hoo Lee a lot. What is he, the grandson of the wind or whatever? Nickname goes so hard. Gerald Pardon Me. I think he's actually having a really good year. Another ball and play guy. The one thing Perdomo has working for him that I really like is the fact that he doesn't chase. He's always been a high walk rate type of guy. He's got decent speed as well. He's big. Like, he's bigger than I expected. He's like over 6 foot. I never thought about that. But Perdomo doesn't necessarily hit the ball that hard, but he has decent speed, puts the ball in play. He plays in a really good lineup. I think it'll come back down a little bit. What's he sitting at? 900 OPS right now? 846. It may come back down a little bit. But like you see the expected batting average isn't as high. Hard hit rate not as high. Bat speed, he just doesn't chase. That's like the biggest thing I love about Gerald Pardon Me is that he doesn't chase, and there's value in that, man. Especially when pitchers want to get you out and they want you to chase because you have Corbin Carroll, because you have Eugenio Suarez, because you have Pavin Smith in that damn lineup who are just killing the ball. I really like what Gerald Pardon Me has put forward this season. They gave him an extension in the offseason. I was like, what? Really? He's balling. This is Hunter Goodman. He's like one of 2 positive players on the Rockies. Yeah, I don't believe in that. He's not hitting the ball really well at all, but he's playing well. Like, I have the Savant pulled up for you. 830 OPS, and look at these underlyings. Bat speed's really good. Congrats on the bat speed. Whiffs a lot, chases a lot, squared up not a lot, barrel rate, league average. I'm not seeing 830 OPS out of this, but he does play at Coors, so there's some tax there. I don't know. The Rockies, again, they have like 4 good players. If there's a breakout player on the Rockies, it's got to be Doyle, Tovar, or I thought the breakout player for the Rockies was going to be Angel Chivigi out of the bullpen. Nope, he's been bad. He had like 1 or 2 blow-ups. That's relievers' lifespan. You get 1 to 2 blow-ups, and all of a sudden your ERA is a 9. But I don't think Hunter Goodman's got it. I don't think the Rockies got it. They have -1 wins this year. Enough Rockies talk. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me where your favorite team's breakout player should have gone and why I'm wrong. I'll have dialogue in the comments. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe. Said that already. I'm going to go catch a game. See you guys in the next one.